Hello all, welcome back to what should be the final episode of our first game of the month, playing a Minotaur Gladiator. I'm Ultraviolent 4. It is time right now to go get our third rune. So we've cleared all of depths, we've done up to Vaults 4, we've done Elf. We've not done our treasure trove, but that's because with Gozag we're never going to get a Fire Dragon skills. And we also, this game has had a real dearth of enchant armor scrolls, so there's that too. So third runes. Which one should we do on this character? We could comfortably do any of the three. And I mean, hell, if you really wanted to, you could do all three. You could comfortably get 5 runes on a character as strong as this one. But which one should we do? Say we only want to get one of the three. With Gozag, I like to do Vaults 5. So one of Gozag's abilities, which we haven't used yet this game, is to bribe a branch. And that is really strong in Vaults 5. So the way that this works is 3,000 of your gold goes into a kitty or a fund. When you meet monsters for the first time, there's a chance that they'll either turn neutral or they'll ally you, and then just straight up start fighting with you. And what makes this especially strong in the later game is that enemies with higher hit dice are more likely to be bribed. So in Zot 5, that means that all the orbs of fire and the ancient liches especially like to come to your team. But in Zot 5, it means that the scarier monsters you see will also more likely help you out. Plus, it's also just scaling based on where you are, because the monsters of where you are the ones that become your team. So, yeah. In the later, more difficult, not more difficult, but in the later stages of the game with more dangerous enemies, well, you now get the dangerous enemies helping you. So anyway, this one's really good in Vaults 5, so I tend to like to do that rune when I have Gozag. And also, you can kind of think of Vaults 5 like one big sort of marathon fight that you can't escape from. Gozag is also really good there because 1, he distracts enemies, but 2, with potion petitions, you can use those as a steady source of healing. So at this stage of the game, we've got 15,700 gold. I imagine you, when you were here, if you had Gozag, or on any Gozag character that was ready for a third rune, you'd probably have a lot. If you think of potion petition as 400 gold per healing, you've got a lot of potential healing. So I think that's what we're going to go do. I'm going to go to Vaults 4. We might use a couple of bribes here, that's fine, because they do run out. Is that the stair that I want? Let's go. No stair is near an up stair, really. This is probably the best one. It's relatively close to that hatch up if we need to escape, and it's also a fairly big room, so if we do need a stair pull, this isn't not horrible but still not great. The ideal is maybe this one. No, I don't like this because this one has walls next to it, so if you stair pull, you're potentially going to have a bunch of enemies clogging your way out, whereas in this room, the enemies that you stair pull, because the room's open, are just going to be sort of randomly around you, which is better. Okay, so we can bribe here. You can actually bribe branches when you're standing on the entrance to a branch as well. Do we want to bribe the denizens of the vaults? Yes. So Gozag spreads your bribe to the vaults. What you can do is press caret twice, which is shift +6. I finally learnt what that button is called, what that character is called. We can see here that we have 3,000 in our vault's bribe. So we can check this to see how much gold there is at any given time. Our bribe here in the top right will also give us an indication, because as it's running out, that will change color. So we'll go from white to, I think, become blue and then dark blue. It's kind of like when you're using a potion of flight, it gives you an indication of how much you have left. Anyway, I think we should also buff here. We have 5 potions of haste, 11 might, 9 agi. When you consider that we also have infinite of those with potion petition, I think it makes sense that we should just quaff those right now. Okay, and then my strategy here, well, let me go down first and we'll talk about it. So we made all this stuff. You definitely don't want to be using immolation here, because if you bribe any of these dudes and then you hit them with the immolation, everyone you've bribed is going to get angry and turn against you. Not a good idea. We also could teleport here. So if I were going to do that, I would have read my teleport and then come down. But the thing I want to do is actually just run to the corner. So, oh, I note that it's a crystal ward bolts 5. That's kind of scary. We have to be on the lookout because all bolts, including regular fire and ice bolts, or fire and cold, can bounce off these walls and double zap you. Yeah, so you need to be especially careful around crystal walls. Okay, so what point was I making? Yeah, I'm just gonna run to the corner. So with the teleport, you could land anywhere. You don't know where you're gonna land. But our character, we're hasted, but the main reason, or one of them, that I'm willing to just run to the corner is we have 12 scrolls of blinking. And once we get to Zot, these become much less valuable. So we may as well just read a bunch of blinking and just blink our way to the corner. And we can just set up shop there. We're going to have friends with our bribe. And we've got 16 charges of a wand of clouds. So we can just, yeah, set up a fort in the corner. Throw down a whole bunch of clouds. And just fight stuff. You know what? I don't mind just fighting this hallway here with so many clouds charges. Because we can just cloud the whole hallway. As the storm clouds, so it can zap stuff. There's Jory, okay. Well, that's not so good. Jory just rocked up. Okay, he's not fun because he can always crystal spear you for over 100 damage. So he's always a threat. Okay, so we could potentially, we only have 1 scroll of silence, that's not great. How about we distract him with our File of Floods? Not that one. I'm going to use my evocables, here we go. Alright, we've got, how much do we have? 12 evocations. So we're going to make 2 of these elementals that you see here, and they can potentially just fight and kill Jory, maybe not. What if we help them? We only have 4 throwing nets, so I don't really want to waste one. If I had Phantom Mirrors still, and I hadn't just thrown them away, I would probably Phantom Mirror him and make him crystal spear himself, but I haven't done that. Do I just want to make some spiders? Yeah. Well, we can try. And hopefully they can distract him. I don't know. I feel like spiders on their own are not going to kill Jory. He's a vampire, so he's not going to care about being poisoned. I'm wondering if we shouldn't just teleport. Because it's all fun and games until someone gets crystal speared in the eye. It's going to make more spiders. Apparently I'm not. Yeah, we're just going to go fight Jory. There you go. We'll just kill him. There we go. So we didn't get crystal speared, so I don't know. Actually, I'm not very happy with that sequence of things that I just did. It was really, really dangerous to be in the presence of someone who can do 100 damage per turn when you're in Vaults 5. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that play. We've got a bunch more enemies turning up. Of particular note is the Titan. At the moment, there's Zathor. We don't have Aralek, so it can lightning bolt us, but what's more important is that it can airstrike you. So if it's sitting at the back of a large group of enemies you're fighting like this, you're just giving it turns to potentially airstrike you, so be aware of that. I'm gonna just throw out a bunch more clouds and let's see what we got. We got acid and some negative energy. Well, the acid is really strong. That's probably gonna kill everything in it. Alright, so we're gonna keep fighting here. And if things get too out of hand, I'll read a scroll of blinking. We'll just blink back there and then we'll run away. Is none of this stuff getting bribed? Do I see a single bribed enemy right now? Everything's angry. I'm really tempted to just read immolation because nothing has been bribed. Do we have immolation? I do, I have 10. Alright, let's read immolation. I was gonna say, this could go really badly if things get... Look at it go. We reached 25 for shields. If things get bribed as we're doing this. But yeah, no, that was a very successful immolation. There you go. The explosions are still going. This is amazing. Alright, who needs Gozag bribe branch? It doesn't even work apparently. Look at the things, just the monsters are just getting shredded by the acid clouds. That acid cloud just completely killed the Titan on its own. Looks like our clouds have run out. No, there's still acidic fog. How about we ice blast this demonologist so he doesn't cause demons to be summoned. It's really hard to see this acid cloud here under the piles of gold. Has literally anything been bribed right now? Where's our fund? Our fund is still 3,000. We haven't bribed a single enemy. How does that work? That's not how bribe branch works, right? You fight that many enemies and you don't bribe a single one of them? What the hell? Am I really confused about something to do with bribe branch? But yeah, we still have 3,000 gold, so we literally haven't bribed a single enemy after fighting that many. Okay, well I'm confused about that one. Well, there you go. I was telling you how Gozag is good for Vaults 5 because it will allow you to bribe enemies, and we have literally bribed none of them. I don't know if that's bugged or if that's just really unlucky or if something about... No, my clouds or immolation couldn't have made them angry because in that case they would have been bribed, they would have taken some gold and then they would have turned hostile. But the fact that there's still 3,000 gold there means that nothing has ever been bribed. Yeah, I'm a bit confused about that one. We still haven't bribed anything. Nothing is being bribed. Because we even bribed branch before we came down. Normally some of the vault guards will get bribed. This ancient lich hasn't been bribed either. And they're usually, because they have such a high hit dice, they're usually really likely to be bribed. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to think. I definitely haven't worshipped Rue and sacrificed love, so it's not that. Yeah, just nothing has been bribed. Alright, there's something very strange going on. Okay, well what is supposed to happen is that in that fight that we did, enemies were supposed to help us. And they're supposed to be helping us now. Like occasionally you convert one and then you build up an army and then you walk around with your army. But we've bribed none. We've literally bribed 0 enemies in the entirety of Vaults 5. I don't know what's happening. We're still at 25. So our fighting is maxed and our shields is now at 25. So I'm going to turn dodging back on and evocations back on. And we're just going to train armor, dodging, evocations for the rest of the game. This is really making me rethink everything about Zot, because I usually use a bribe branch in Zot 5, but bribe branch is completely broken for some reason. Whether that's... No, I don't understand why. We're trying to... It's a +6 scale mail of Slay +5. We definitely don't need that. Alright, there's a Hellion. Okay. Well, he didn't want to shoot his friends, so I felt okay about that. Well, there's our third rune, and that was a ring of positive energy, so it was a reminder to stay positive, but I actually am completely mystified about how it's just clearly not working, and I have no idea why. We just did the entirety of Vaults 5 without bribing a single enemy, and that definitely says that that is Vaults that is bribed. Like, I didn't accidentally bribe Crypt or something. It says Vaults. We're in Vaults. I do not know why nothing got bribed. Nothing. Not even one enemy got bribed. So, yeah, I can't explain that one. Yeah, well, yep, that's a complete mystery. Well, it's time to go to Zot. So, let's hope that our bribe branches work in Zot. Note that we're back up to 15,000 gold. So, we have plenty of bribes here. It can also show you that there was the... What is this? The potential to... Wow, what an entrance vault. 7 tentacled monstrosities and a juggernaut. That is really, really nasty. Because these guys are going to constrict you, so they're going to hold you here at the stairs while the juggernaut just punches you to death. Anyway, but with this amount of gold, it shows you that you had the potential to buy, or we had the potential to buy a lot more merchants. We still could really. I could just go back up here right now, purchase a bunch and see what we get. I feel like I want to do that, although we got to deal with this first. I'm thinking about potentially, so we could probably just fight this because we're super strong. We could also potion petition, or maybe even just agi and fight it. But I'm considering reading a scroll of blinking. It would be random, but if we went anywhere near the walls, we could then just dig in, with the danger that by digging we'd potentially reveal other monsters. I'm willing to give that a go. Let's just see. Okay, so we've made a little kill hole here, so now we can fight them one at a time. How about we throw clouds down? Seeing that we have so many of those, and bam, we got marked. We got marked from a random hornet up there? That's so unfortunate. Okay, well, the whole floor is about to run at us. That's a berserk juggernaut, which is not a good time. Fortunately, we have 34 shield, so it's okay. Well, now that we have the whole floor coming at us, I wonder if we should quaff an agi. I'm going to. Seems like there's some sort of spider vault going on, which is interesting. And there's now ghost moth sapping all our magic points. So it's like it just stole 30 hit points from us. I'm half tempted to actually... We've got so many clouds, just throw clouds out on these guys too. Because one, the ghost moth's really annoying, but two, these orb spiders are going to sit there forever and just pelt us with orbs of destruction if I ignore them. That's our elect hitting us. Sorry, a lightning bolt hitting us. I'm in a potion petition right now. See if we can get a heal wounds and maybe a resistance. And maybe some other buffs. Heal wounds, curing, haste, agi, flight. That one sounds pretty good. Or resistance, might, haste, heal wounds, and magic. That one sounds even better. Yep, the resistance will help us from the lightning bolts. Might and haste are buffs, heal wounds, and magic are both heals. Although the magic is going to go immediately because there are at least 2 ghost moths standing there. Stop asking me. I know there's not flame there. I could see the ghost moth. Let's just ice blast these spiders. They're really annoying. I can also enslave these ones that are just sitting there and make them fight each other. So it's kind of an unfortunate alarm trap, but in some ways it hasn't been too bad, because bringing the whole floor to you like this, when you've created a little kill hole that you can fight everyone in with Wands of Cloud, is actually pretty useful. Why is there no reachable target? Oh, because the clouds are flame. Okay, fair enough. Alright, we're slowing down now. Yeah, so that wasn't too bad, but yeah, that was certainly unfortunate. So thank you again, traps. Very fun and exciting. We only have 4 magic mapping scrolls, and seeing that we've been trapped here, so we've probably already drawn everything to us. I'm not going to map this floor. Otherwise, Zot 1 is usually the one that you most want to map. Hey, we got alarm trapped again. As to bribing these earlier Zot floors, we have so much gold that it might make sense. Normally I save it for Zot 5, but I don't know. With 15,000 gold, maybe we'll do it now, and we'll test out if maybe bribe branch is just completely broken. Let's try again. So we're gonna bribe Zot, yes. I'm gonna check the kitty. We have Zot bribed. There's money in the Zot fund. Let's see if we actually can bribe some things. There you go, we bribed one. We got a tentacle monstrosity. So the ability is not totally bugged. There's something crazy going on, and look at that. we just we didn't get him friendly, but we just got a neutral orb of fire. So yeah, we avoided fighting him there. That's helpful. And we've got 2. We did have 2. Yeah, we've got 2 tentacle monstrosities, or 1. Yeah, and they will follow you between floors, so it's kind of a shame that we didn't get that orb of fire to actually become friendly, because we could have brought him with us through these earlier Zot floors and then just wrecked house with everything here. Yeah, I should stop messing around with jokes. I should stop messing around with all these berserk draconians and just go back upstairs. And right as I said this, the draconian shifter blinked us. Alright, so what's the plan? Quickly dig to the wall. Let's paralyze the shifter so he stops pulling us away. And then let's go with clouds again. What's really scary here is that Moss of Wrath can potentially berserk this gold dragon, which you never want. So I'm going to read a fear now. We're going to try to get rid of the Moss of Wrath and kill... There's another one that's turned up. Another 2 have turned up. Okay, that's alright. Down there, the gold dragon that was here couldn't see them, so it couldn't berserk them just yet. But yeah, you never want gold dragons being berserked. I don't care how good your defenses are. For these regular draconians, especially if we're fighting them one at a time like this in a hallway, I don't care too much. As long as we're fighting them one at a time though. Okay, it still feels like we're not bribing many things. I mean, I've seen it work, we got some. But we got none of those draconians, I think. Well, we may as well magic map now, seeing as we're not going to need it literally anywhere else. Yeah, we're not getting any of these draconians. I wonder if bribe branch has been changed recently and I just never realized. Anyway, on to Zot 3. It's magic map again. We do still have a kitty with 2,000 gold in it. We've got a shifter again. That's really annoying. I can't really get to him. Oh yeah, I can. Oops. Okay, I don't want to mess with shifters. They're just too annoying. Let's just go to another stair. There's an elect golem along with a lightning dragon. Storm dragon rather. So let's put our elect ring on. And we'll see if we can drag him upstairs. Yeah, can be hard to do because the electric golems blink. So they don't they don't always follow you. What happened there? Did we get paralyzed? The enemies were all up there, and then all of a sudden, they were all on top of us. How did... Oh no, it's just the shifter blinked everything on top of us. Okay, that makes sense. It's alright. Let's go back upstairs. Okay, we're gonna go to the third stair. Shifter's no good. And we really are not bribing anything. We got a couple of enemies earlier. We got, I think, 2 tentacle monstrosities went friendly. And then we got 1 orb of fire to go neutral. And then everything else, it's done nothing. Okay, so this is getting a bit out of hand here. We've been slowed by the death cob. There's a moth of wrath and some scary dragons. So if everything goes berserk here while we're slow and being blinked around, things could go bad. So what I was trying to do was to walk back over to the wall here to dig a kill hole to fight this stuff one at a time. But the shifter just blinked us back up here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go a fierce scroll again and primarily just try to get rid of the moth of wrath. Okay, that's good. And now what we can do is we've only got 1 invis. You know what, I'm just going to potion petition and maybe, yeah, there we go, we pulled invis anyway. Invis, haste, resistant, agi, that works. Okay, most of these things can't see the invis. The draconians can't, the death cob can't. The gold dragon can, but we're now agied and hasted, so we'll just kill him before the moth of wrath turns back up again. We're still not bribing anything. 2,177 gold still. I'm really confused. I'm wondering if I'm doing something? Maybe? I'm trying to think if maybe the clouds somehow, but again, in vaults we never bribed anyone whatsoever, so the clouds couldn't have had anything to do with it. And again, the clouds here were before I bribed, right? I think I bribed after the clouds. Yep, okay, again, I'm very mystified about bribe branch because we seem to be bribing nothing. What did we just pick up? Some sort of scroll, I didn't see what it was. I'm being lazy by not putting RLEC on against the Storm Dragons. And again, we're not bribing any of these Draconians whatsoever. I don't know what's happening. There is an enchant armor scroll on the ground here, which we can put on our crystal plate armor. Not getting any dragons again, or Draconians. It's really weird. I don't even have beam, so I can't even look it up. But I don't... I'm kind of dying here. Let's potion petition. Haste, heal wounds, invis, agi. That's perfect. It's going to heal us, give us resistance against the black ones. And then we'll go invis so they can't see us. We could very easily enslave these guys. The Draconians, look at that, 71% chance, who aren't purple, have pretty bad MR. And with our 15 evocations right now, yeah, we're going to be able to hex them almost every single time. It's kind of like a poor man's bribe branch. You don't bribe him, you enslave him. I mean, that's not really similar. Yeah, okay, well here's an orb of fire, which again we have not bribed. I'm confused about that. Do we just buff? So at the moment we only have 1 pip of RF, so I think it makes sense to get at least 1 more point of RF. But I think if we potion petition, we can potentially get, say, haste, might, and resistance. Resistance, agi, heal wounds, curing. Resistance, invis, agi. There's not really any difference between those. Well, I guess we'll go the one with invis because Draconians might turn up. Yeah. So I think with all our slaying and strength that we have, we can just kill this guy. And we've got agi as well, so we don't need to might or haste. We got no bad mutes out of that. No, but really, why doesn't my bribe work? Let's enslave some dudes. Let's try to get the shifter, because he's the most annoying. Are we really failing right now? Okay, we've got one. This whole floor we have not bribed a single monster again. Very confusing. Oh, let's back out of that. Yeah, so I feel like this fort is broken. So you see some statues and some oklobs. Once upon a time, cursed skulls didn't used to be able to move. So it seems like the whole point about this fort is that you have scary statues. But yeah, now that cursed skulls can move, the theme doesn't really work anymore. I'm gonna acid him, try to bring him down. Yeah, that worked. I was about to say, I think there might be another one in there. Okay, so these ones are much less scary. We're trying to pick up glowing boots. They're just +2 boots. We stick with the ones we have. Yeah, okay, so our bribe is broken again. And usually bribe branch makes Zot 5 really easy because the enemies in Zot 5 are all really high hit dice. The orbs of fire, the ancient liches, etc. So you just build up a really formidable army. You just walk into the lungs, you just take the orb and then you leave. But our bribe branch isn't doing anything, so I don't know why. I'm not like under wrath or anything. No. Yeah, no, I'm really confused. But one thing I do want to test out actually is we left a floating eye in depths. You might have already told me whether this works or not in the comments from the last episode, but I haven't seen those yet, so we're going to do a bit of science here. I want to know if this floating eye can paralyze orbs of fire and other magic immune enemies. It's going to be really annoying to walk down to Zot 5 with it, because every few turns it's going to paralyze us and then I have to hit force more. But this is the cost of science. Oh, that was not the entrance. I walked to the back. Whoops. All these nets, so maybe, well, it's annoying to do now. Oh god. Okay, so the orb of fire, who was neutral, just turned hostile. Why did he do that? Did it say anything? It didn't. So this is making me feel like I'm doing something wrong about bribe. As in maybe I hurt an enemy who was bribed or neutral or something, and now they're angry with me. But I'm fairly certain I didn't use the clouds until after the bribe. Anyway, so this orb of fire unbribed, which shouldn't happen unless you've attacked enemies. Well, anyway, this means that we need to enslave the floating eye right now. He did! He paralyzed the orb of fire! Oh my god, I've just found the new most OP strat. That's amazing. He paralyzes the orbs of fire! Oh my god. Okay, this is amazing. Okay, we've just found the new most broken OP strat in Crawl. You just need to have a lot of evocations charges, and then you just walk around with one of these floating eyes and it will paralyze everything, even magic immune things. So this would work against Pan Lords, although I wouldn't suggest walking around with one of these guys in Pan. That's going to be an absolute nightmare. But in theory it would work. We just saw it on Orbs of Fire. It's going to work on Ancient Liches. That's crazy. We don't regenerate when monsters are visible. That's kind of annoying, but it's not really that threatening. So I'm just going to hold our mutation potions. Oh, we can't go down here. Where are we trying to go down? Down here. Yeah, so I really don't know what's going on with the bribe. And I don't have beam, so I can't look up how it works when things get angry with you. But it was my understanding that even if you were... Oh, we don't regen with enemies visible, and one of the enemies is our friend, the floating eye. Hang on, this won't work. I need a random energy away from him so I can heal. There we go. He can't open doors, he's just an eye. Yeah, so I thought, I know if you attack bribed enemies, others that witness it turn angry, but I didn't know that meant that everyone in the whole branch would then stop being bribed for the rest of time. So I'm really quite confused with this. But I'm going to say that based on the fact that on Zot 3 and 4 we didn't bribe a single enemy, and that in Vaults we didn't bribe even one thing, that it's going to stop working in Zot for whatever reason. I wonder if can I bribe the branch again? So we now have more gold in there. I don't know. I'm expecting it not to work, and I don't understand why. And because I'm playing offline, I don't have access to Beam, so I can't look it up. But this is all extremely confusing to me. That Gozag doesn't work. But that's okay, because we have a new, more powerful strategy. Why do you need the Orbs of Fire on your team when you can just paralyze them? Problem is, he's going to die really easily to fireballs and bolts of fire from the orbs. But yeah, that was absolutely amazing that he can just paralyze orbs of fire. How many enslavement do we have? 11. Yeah, okay, I kind of don't want to get paralyzed against this stuff. Look at that. I'm going to tell him to guard so I can go back up and heal. And yeah, we're not bribing anything. Well, we haven't yet, so I think that's going to be the extent of this. So yeah, normally what you do is you bribe this. So maybe you would have kept your bribe money till Zop 5, you bribe it, and you just run to the lungs. And as you go, you'll pick up an army. But because our bribe is broken, we sort of have to just clear this like we normally would. Alright, yeah. I want to get rid of the eye while we deal with the other stuff. I'm just going to paralyze him here. We'll come back and get him when we're ready to fight more Orbs of Fire and the like. Yeah, definitely confirmed. We're not getting any of these Draconians to be bribed. So yeah, really puzzling. Oh, because it's not telling me anything. Oh, we just got marked. Alright, let's get back upstairs quickly. We can meet our friend the Eye. Damn it. Did I just paralyze him again? Yeah, why not? Because I feel like if there is some rule where, say, denizens in a branch will no longer be bribed ever again, like it could be red or it could say something here like Volt's like, you know, angry or something. But this is just puzzling. Like it's not working and the game's not giving me any feedback that I can see about why. And again, I'm not Rue, so I haven't sacrificed love at any point. So yeah, like I'm not saying it's bugged. Like it may well just be that my understanding of this ability is wrong, but the game's not giving me any feedback for me to work out why, or even that it is wrong, if that's indeed what's happening. So I don't think that should really be a thing. Anyway, let's go strength. We just reached level 27, so our natural MR has given us a 4th pip of MR. So that extra ring that we've been carrying around, just for ancient liches, I suppose, we no longer need. The ring of skepticism. Distracted by gold. Yeah, okay. So the liches are coming. This one has lightning bolt, so let's switch our ring. And should we test the floating eye against the ancient lich? I feel like we should. He's hasted, so this is actually quite dangerous. Okay. Okay, let's see if the eye can... Yup, the eye can paralyze ancient liches. That's amazing. That is actually amazing. I don't know why I've never thought to do this before. That's so overpowered. Well, okay, to be fair, I don't normally have this much evocations training, but still. Looks like we've cleared all the area outside here. I'm going to go Shift X, Control F just to check there's not something else out here. The strategy doesn't really work anymore insofar as you keep running around as enemies get teleported out, because the devs have changed it so that traps only work when you can see them. Yeah, so enemies don't get affected just by running into traps. So the whole thing about making noise and then just waiting doesn't work. Which means, yeah, Zop 5 is way more dangerous now. All the enemies are in the lungs, and now especially with dispersal traps everywhere, and the fact that net traps always hit you, and the fact that alarm traps always hit you, has made Zop 5 so bad. Like so crazy, just like out of control bad. Yeah, the number of Zop 5 games now I've had where you're just blinking everywhere. You can't even fight normally. You're just here, then you're there, then you're there, then you're there, then you're marked, now you're here, now you're trapped, now you're here, now you're here, now you're here. And it's just crazy. Oh yeah, here's an alarm trap. Okay. Yeah, and well, we just got hit with it. Alright, so let's run. Oh, there's an electric golem. Okay, we still got RLX on, so that's fine. I wish we could bribe stuff. Here's an ancient lich. I'm just using this hallway to fight this stuff. We may as well, now I've got orbs of fire coming, I think we may as well use this place to our advantage. We'll buff up, see if we can get a haste here. Well, I don't want the one with Berserker Rage, so let's go the only one without it. So we've got haste now. I'm going to use our 10 wands of clouds here. Oh, we got acid. Okay, so we just win. The orbs of fire aren't resistant to acid, so they're just going to die to it as well. Do we have just... because we've got a lot of orbs of fire coming. We've only got 2 resistance potions. Well, I don't want to switch out of Elec until the Elec golem dies. Which he just did? No, he blinked. Yeah, we have 4 orbs of fire right now. So I think we definitely quaff one of our 2 resistance potions. It's not going to get worse than this probably. And then I think once we get this ancient lich, which we just did, we put on our ring of extra RF as well. So now we have max RF. These orbs of fire are going to die really quickly in the acid clouds. Look, I'm not even fighting them and they're just dying. Who tells you that avocations training isn't amazing? Yeah, cool. This we feel wildly uncertain. We just picked up teleportitis. Okay, I don't want that. I'm going to immediately try to get rid of that before we get randomly teleported into the lungs. The first one didn't work. We've still got it. We still have it. This is why we're saving our mutation potions. We now have berserkitis, so we need to keep quaffing. We still have berserkitis. Okay, we got rid of it. So our mutations are fine now, but we don't have any more left. So if we get one more bad orb of fire encounter, we're going to be in trouble. Yeah, that's the current state of the mutation system. You can see we had that was a crystal spear, I think. We got teleportitis, and I think it took us 3 goes to get rid of it. It took us 2 goes to get rid of it, but in the process we got berserkitis, and that took us another 2 goes to get rid of. So we just used No, one must have been 3 and one must have been 2 because we just quaffed 5 mutation potions there. Anyway. It's very difficult to get rid of any one particular thing. Okay, so that was the alarm trap there. I think my game is totally frozen, which is interesting because I'm playing offline. Oh no, we're back. You feel the horns on your head grow some more. Well, that's really, really unfortunate. So what that just did is gave us horns level 3. Which then means you can't wear any hats. So we just lost our hat of the bear spirit, which means our MR is now unacceptably low, and we just lost our guardian spirit. And we're not even carrying any more MR either. So this ancient lich is extremely scary. In that case, let's net him. Yeah, he confused us. Okay, so he doesn't have paralysis, that's good. But he can confuse us. Again, the state of the mutation system. So, if this were like the old one, where you could use them more often and more reliably to get rid of mutes, I would quaff one right now to try to get rid of those large horns. Because that's really, really bad for us. Before I do anything else, well, I gotta fight this stuff. Let's throw down clouds again. But before I do anything else, I should be going right now to go get a ring with extra magic resistance, which we dropped just over there. Okay, it wasn't far away, and we need to be wearing that at all times. That one. Why am I carrying around a cloak of poison resistance? I don't know. Okay, we also need Aralek. Again, note that we're not bribing anything. Very, very puzzling episode for me. First in Vaults 5 and now in Zot. Bribe branch not working. Again, I want to keep saying this. I think it's more than possible that... Oh, we're being petrified. Okay, hang on. That Zot trap just petrified us, which is why we're carrying cancellation potions. So it's more than likely that I just don't understand some aspect about Bribe Branch. Like maybe I hurt some enemies or something like that. But the more important thing is that the game is not giving me any feedback on why it shouldn't be working. So unless, I mean, maybe it's bugged. It's possible. No, I doubt it. I think it's more likely that I did something wrong, but the game just isn't telling me, isn't giving me any feedback for me to actually figure it out, which I don't think is a good thing. Let's get away from the orange crystal statue. Really dangerous for a couple of reasons. The first is that it has shadow creatures, so it can make really nasty packs. Like it can summon Zot 5 enemies, so it could make cursed toes, etc. But also it can steal your int, and we only have 5, so that's really dangerous. Oh yeah, another thing that you should do now on Zot 5. So I used to do this to pick up the nets. Nets are much more accurate now, so you're going to get trapped much more often than you will pick them up. But because nets can hit you, or will hit you whenever anything steps on it, before you do your orb run, you need to walk around and hit all the nets, because you don't want to be netted on your orb run. I mean, arguably we should do the same with the alarm trap. You want to get alarmed on your orb run. Oops, I wasn't wearing my MR ring against the Ancient Lich. Whoops. Yeah, well, we seem to have cleared everything else out, which I think makes me want to go fight the orange crystal statue. We have 51 acid charges. I'm just going to sit back here and shoot it with acid. Okay, good. We're going to hit all the nets again. If you really wanted to collect these, you could use scrolls. Your scrolls are blinking. You risk landing on teleport traps like that, but when you blink out of a net, you then get to keep it. This is kind of tedious, but it is what it is. Let's step on this alarm trap as well. It's kind of like the old thing with, what are those things called? Webs. Webs stopped being temporary. They got made permanent because you were encouraged to walk around and break all the webs. Or now you're encouraged to walk around and break all the net traps. Anyway, alright, so orb run time. Things to note. You can bribe the dungeon on your way out, and you potentially then will bribe panlords as you go. But I've lost complete and all trust in bribe branch now. It doesn't... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Very strange. I mean, we have 9,000 gold, so we may as well try to bribe it on the way out, but I'm not expecting much. So what do we do here? Let me do one last check that there's nothing running around. Shift X, Control F. Alright, good. And then I'm going to read a teleport scroll, wait 8 turns, pick up the orb. Whoa, we get a cool thing that I never see online. And then our teleport kicks in and we get teleported out if the one's there. Oh yeah, we've got our floating eye with us. I don't really want to kill it because it's been very useful. But there's no way we can do an orb run with a floating eye paralyzing us every few turns. So I'm just enslaving it and I'm instructing him to run the other way. GD0. Okay, well, look at this. We just bribed those ones. So I don't know anymore. We bribed them in Zot. That, I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe it's the case that if you hurt someone who's been bribed in a branch, then all the ones who are currently in the branch will never be bribed again. And those, but it still doesn't make sense in the context of Thoughts 5 because we never bribed even a single enemy. So I don't know. I don't understand. GG0. It's just very bizarre. Yeah, well, anyway, it showed us... Oh, see, we just bribed that Ice Fiend. That's amazing. So there you go. This is what it should have been like doing Zot 5, where all the really dangerous enemies get turned to your team. I'm going to tell it to go away from us because I don't want it to try to quote-unquote help by tormenting us. Okay, we have a lot of gold, so technically, okay, I was going to say we could bribe depths as well, but we just went through the entire depths. Let's just bribe the dungeon. Okay, cool. So on the way out, as we meet more panlords, we might bribe them. See, we're bribing these enemies. I don't know. I don't understand anything about bribe branch anymore. See, we got these. This panlord just turned neutral. The lich turned friendly. The lich I'm going to actually run with because he's potentially helpful. Have a lich friend. Can leave the dungeon together. Oh, there you go. Look, we got an orb guarding. Why does it work now? Why didn't it work in Zot 5? I don't know. I do not know. Here's the ghost that we left a very long time ago. See, we just... They just unfriended. Why did that happen? Let me figure this out. Why? Okay, we attacked the ghost, and then the lich became no longer bribed, and the orc guardian became no longer bribed. I don't understand. Something we just did then caused our friends to become unbribed, and I'm going to guess that it's also now going to cause bribe to stop working completely. This might be bugged, because that seems bizarre. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm going to guess that we're never going to bribe. Oh no, there you go, we bribed, so I don't know. Something very strange going on with bribe. I don't know what it is. But anyway. We have escaped. So, yeah. Didn't get too much help from Gozag at the end there, which I'm very puzzled about. I don't know. Maybe some of you have been screaming this entire episode because I'm doing something that's obvious that I shouldn't be doing, but I still feel like the game should be telling you if you're doing something bad. Anyway, so that was very strange. Maybe... yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's the first game of the month. So I've had a really good experience with it so far, with you viewers telling me how your games have been going. I haven't looked properly in the discussion thread on the Game of the Month subreddit, so I'll go check that out now. I'm no longer spoiled. But I think the feedback I've had so far is that people are quite liking this idea. So hit me up if you've got any suggestions. Hell, even if you just want to say you like it. I don't know, that always feels nice. But if you have suggestions for combinations for future months, or say you find a particularly interesting seed that you think everyone should play, let me know, and I'll have a look at it. Well, I won't have a look at it because that will spoil it for me. I don't know, maybe you can just tell me if you have an interesting seed, and maybe I'll quiz you. But anyway, so I hope you had fun. I hope that you found this exercise valuable. And if nothing else, I'll see you next month for the next game of the month. I'm not saying I won't make more videos between then, but I don't know, maybe you're just a game of the month viewer or something like that. Anyway, that's it for me. I'll see you all later.